Chad, if you want to go into a little
Yeah.
bit more big picture managing a work company here.
So with managing a remote workforce, the biggest thing is you can have everything in place. You could have the best antivirus, the best, you have all your patching and updated, all the machines patching and updated. You could have an up-to-date operating system on every machine. And one thing you cannot control is what Joe said earlier, someone that's click happy, someone that gets an email that says, oh, you won $100 Amazon gift card, click here. And then they click on it, and that was ransomware, or that was a virus or a crypto virus or whatever it might be. So security awareness is going to be a very big step for every individual employee, because just getting the ins and out of knowing what to look for on an email, like Joe mentioned earlier, hovering over any link or attachment that you're about to click on, just to make sure it's going to where it says it's going to go, and it's not trying to trick you. Sound like you're gonna say something, Joe?
Yeah, well, yeah, and you know the bad guys like to go ahead and take advantage of things that mean something to us. You know, for instance, for me, they may think that I'm going to be clicking on something to help me grow hair. Or lose weight. Those are personal type subjects that people are more likely to click on. And right now, during the time that we're in right now, the coronavirus would be something that people are going to be a little bit more willing to click on. So the bad guys know this, and they're crafting their message around these type subjects. So for a company type, for now, and even when we're not in a pandemic, is to make sure that your users are involved in some sort of cybersecurity training program. And there's a lot of them out there. The Miller Group offers some for free to our client base as well. It's a good idea that you're, and it's not a one-time where you send somebody through it and okay, everybody's aware on cybersecurity now. No, it's something that has to be ongoing. So that's one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing for your work staff as well.
And if anybody is interested in the cybersecurity training for your end users, for the employees, just if you want to let me know or shoot me an email at chadmiller@themillergroup.com. We can talk about kind of the ins and outs of that, what it is, and how we potentially get it rolling for you.
Yeah, and if you don't remember his email address, we have a contact us page on our website as well. You do want to make sure, again, if you're on the management type side of a company, that everybody has access to what they need, the applications that they need, and the documents that they need. So the applications that they need, some of them are, client server type based, where you do need to be accessing them from your network in order to use them. That's where a remote desktop solution with VPN works wonderfully. The documents that they need, if you have file shares on your server, make sure that those are accessible remotely. And how you do that could be through a VPN type solution, or getting those files moved to the cloud somehow, whether that's through Microsoft Teams, or even putting a server in the cloud and having everybody access them there. But you do need to make sure that you have good security on these cloud type applications. Again, that the two-factor authentication cannot be something that I stress more. If you're going to get anything out of this, find something that you log into on the web. And I think a great one for most people, especially nowadays when you're not going out to the store as much. I know my wife, which she'll slap me when I get home, has upped her Amazon orders over the last couple of weeks. That one's a little difficult to find inside there. It's underneath your account, but enabling two-factor authentication for Amazon is a great idea. I have heard some horror stories of people having their Amazon account hacked. You think about it, you have your credit card most likely saved inside there, and people are going in there and just placing orders, shipping them to where they want, and getting some stuff off your dime.
So with this slide, ensure that your connections are secure whenever, for each employee that is working remotely, making sure that you have a VPN set up and it's in place and it's working efficiently. Like Joe mentioned, multi-factor authentication is is one very, very efficient tool that just gives a huge peace of mind, because like we mentioned, you need two things to verify your authentication. You need to have a phone and your password, or your thumb and a password, and just make sure that they can't get your information by just guessing a password or getting it from the dark web or whatever that might be. And then also a big thing that a lot of home Wi-Fi's don't have is an actual password protection that is not the general password that comes with your router. Say you have AT&T or whatever it might be, and you get a router that comes with your Wi-Fi and your internet. Just make sure that if the password is on, and make sure that it's not the default password that came with the router.
Yeah, that's and some people don't even have passwords, period. For ease of use and making sure that their kids and neighbors or family members that come over and want to be able to connect to their Wi-Fi, they just leave it wide open and people connect right up. You do want to make sure you do have a password on there.
We have a question from Mike. When accessing a remote desktop at work, are both computers at risk?
It really kind of depends. Yes and no. If you are using, for instance, just RDP, remote desktop protocol there, you're not passing any information back and forth between the two computers. You're just viewing them. If you do connect through a VPN, you do have the ability, depending on the VPN solution, you have the ability to go ahead and map drives from your office computer and make them available on your home computer. That would mean that if your home computer happens to have a virus, or, you know, especially like ransomware, which spreads through any kind of file shares that you have on that machine, if your computer happens to get compromised and you're connected through a VPN, the office shares will be compromised, can be compromised as well. So yes, they are both susceptible there, and that's why it's extremely important to make sure that your home machines are secure and protected. Yeah, I don't know where else I was going to go with that. A big thing, though, I think for companies is to make sure that communication systems or whatever you're using to communicate is being enforced, and being enforced all the time. So for instance, as we're working throughout the day here at the Miller Group, we do have the ability to go ahead and shoot somebody a quick little Teams message to have that, you know, if somebody's got a question for somebody, we promote and encourage that those type conversations are done via a video. So they're both sitting, so basically you see the other person that you're talking to right there on your screen, and you have that conversation there. Again, it adds some accountability. You know, you don't have somebody sitting in their, you know, their rocker watching, you know, Netflix as they're, you know, working. I'm doing my air quotes here. You're making sure that everybody is doing what you're paying them to do.
And on another note, whenever we've been working from home, like for the past month or so, it is nice being able to see the person that you're talking to, because I mean, I've only seen a couple employees in person since this all happened, and all the other ones, it's nice to see their face every now and again versus just talking over the phone. It does kind of make you feel a little bit more like normal versus just feeling like you're cooped up in your house all day.
You get lonely, don't you, Chad?
Yeah, I get a little stir crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's great. And then sometimes, you know, you get that little humor there. One of our technicians actually has a bird that's always in the background. I know, Chad, you have your, you know, 2 large dogs walking around and roaming here and there. A couple people have cats that like to jump up on, you know, it just gives just something to talk about a little bit sometimes too. And it kind of keeps, even though we're all separated, it kind of keeps everybody together.